Hey everyone, it is High here, bringing another video on Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. In this video, we're going to be breaking down the Extreme Z Awakening for the Timebreaker Bardock on the global version of the game, and do some Extreme Z Battle team builds to hopefully help everyone out. So with that, let's go ahead and dive right in. Now this is the quote-unquote Mass Saiyan unit. I don't call this unit Mass Saiyan, I call him Timebreaker Bardock, because we know it is Bardock. Yes, he does scream out, "I am not Bardock," but we all know who it is. So this is, of course, dropping on the global version of the game, which is really nice. And let's go ahead and break down the unit first and foremost before we go into the Extreme Z battle. So this unit here really needed an Extreme Z Awakening. It's one of the fewer units that was introduced kind of later in the game, still early, but early in the game, and had a flat attack stat and defense. So it really wasn't all that viable once the unit even came out. So but it is a non-Dokkan Festival exclusive unit. Hopefully you've pulled one copy at least of Timebreaker Bardock here, and with this EZA, he is absolutely viable now these days. So really good. The leader skill is actually, very flexible because it's all types leader skill, and it's all types key +3, HP and attack defense 80%, which isn't all that high in the current meta, but you can run some really cool and different combinations if you are newer to the game, or really, don't do a lot when it comes to team building. You can just plop this guy on the on your leader, and then use anything else around you to make a team. So the super attack is a Dark Rebellion trigger. It did get a nice buff with the attack and defense increase with 20% Kaioken mechanic, meaning they'll just continue to stack as every super attack continues to raise its attack and defense, and it causes immense damage to enemy. Now, immense damage, I've always said this in every single EZA video, it is the highest SA multiplier. The SA 15 Extreme Z Awakening with immense damage is the highest multiplier for super attacks. And it also provides a lowers attack and defense minus 20% for 3 turns. That was the same from before the EZA, so that didn't change there. Now the passive skill is a total revamp. It is the shadowy strength, and like I said before, it was more a flat attack stat, and now it's a percentage. Of course, this is what we do now. So attack and defense 100% right off the bat. And it's kind of interesting, this wording here. So it's key +1 and additional attack 50% when facing 2 or less enemies, or fewer enemies. So if you're facing 1 enemy, you're also going to get an additional key +1 attack and defense 30% when facing that single enemy. So if you're facing 1 enemy, you're going to get key +2, all right, attack, additional 80% and 30% defense. However, if you're fighting like 3 or 4 characters, you're not going to get any of that buff. All right, so when you're doing like Super Battle Road and stuff like that, this isn't really designed for Super Battle Road, because you're usually going to be fighting more than 2 enemies here, so you're not going to get these extra benefits. But when you're facing 1 enemy, like a Dokkan Fest event, or Legendary Goku event, stuff like that, this unit is very good, having this additional buff there. So the link skills is the Saiyan lineage, Saiyan warrior race, brutal beatdown, berserker over 9,000, prepared for battle and fierce battle. Category is very limited, like most extreme units, right? As pure Saiyans, time travelers, Goku's family, crossover, and mind and body erosion. I failed to mention this is a Dragon Ball Xenoverse crossover, that's why it's on the crossover team here. But nicely, it did boost up their HP attack and defense here to 17.8, 17.9, and then 10.4 when it comes to the stats down there. So all in all, a huge upgrade. Like I said, this is usually going to be more beneficial if you're fighting a longer event and fighting an event with 1 enemy. If you're going Super Battle Road here, generally speaking, he's going to be a dud until you kill down to 2 units. Where I would say some EZA, or not EZA, but SBR events, you might only have 2 enemies, right? So if that's the case, then Super Battle Road does work that way. Anyway, all right, let's now talk about EZAing this unit in and of itself, and how to actually do the event. So to do the event, I feel it's fairly limited, right? So it's weak against revenge, so you want to bring a revenge team, You could just bring a full super int team if you wanted to, but I'd say because this is a tech unit, but at level 20 or above, you can't bring any strength or physical units because it's going to have a damage reduction of 80%, or any extreme unit to use. So yes, you can do like a full super int team if you wanted to, but you're better off just running a super int / tech and then maybe some AGL, even though AGL is going to be type disadvantage. When you have the revenge category on here, it's just gonna make it a lot easier. So the teams that you can generally build, you're gonna be running the Bardock right here for revenge. I guess if you don't have them, you are gonna be running maybe a purer int team, right? But you want to bring as many revenge category units as possible. So these are the revenge category type of at least worthy units. That's going to be int. I did put the Gohan on here as well. So here's some options that you can run. Now these three down here, they don't really fit very well, unless, well, mine does if you're going to go more time travelers. We'll talk about that in a second. But like, you know, Android 16 doesn't really have a good linking partner. This guy doesn't have a really good linking partner. But if you don't have any other units, might as well bring them, because they'll still, you know, mitigate a lot of damage and still do some damage if you get their super attack off. So anyway, another team you can run, like I just mentioned, you can run the Time Travelers Revenge category team. And yes, you're going to be bringing another AGL unit, but it is a revenge unit there, and then you can bring mine to support everyone else on the Time Travelers there. So that's beneficial. So another way you can run this, if you don't have this Bardock here in revenge, you can then run Trunks as a Future Saga leader. And then most of these can run, because most Time Travelers are Future Saga leaders. Or if you're wanting a Time Traveler, maybe you want Mai there. It's going to be less of a boost, but it is possible to run more of a Time Travelers team and have more, you know, super type units. So that's a possibility there. Another possibility then is figuring out, okay, what combinations do you want to run? So if you're going to go more Time Travelers, then these three units here really should be, you know, linking together, or at least one of these linking to each other here. Now, if you're going to bring the Tech and Gohan, you bring Transformation Gohan and then Ultimate Gohan here. This is a good linking partner here if you're going to run those two. So that's an option there. Now, the team that I'm going to be running is going to be this team right here, the Revenge team. That's going to be, generally speaking, the combination I'm going to be running would be right here and here and here and here, and then this is kind of running in support. So when my HP is under, I believe it's 70%, then I'm going to give 40% to everyone here. So that's kind of what I'm going to do here. Even though, you know, Bardock is type disadvantage, you know, this is a good option to run here. Now, if you do want to run full super int, you can do that as well. You know, actually, I just realized I didn't put the slide here for the full super int team. But generally speaking, if you can run units that can support this, that'll be fine. For example, if you want to run like a 120 with Super Gogeta, the int Super Gogeta, then you can go ahead and bring him as the 120 lead and do a full int. But you want to bring some of these units on here because they will do a lot more damage because they're revenge categories. So anyway, sorry about that. I actually thought I had the slide for there, but it didn't have it, or even the free to play one. But it should be reasonably able to complete using a revenge team, and hopefully you guys will benefit from at least this simple guide here. So anyway, that's all I have for you today. If you are new to my channel, like, subscribe, comment below, do all that good stuff. Have fun grinding your medals and Extreme Z Awakening Timebreaker Bardock for your collection. So with that, if you're new to my channel, like, subscribe, comment below, do all that good stuff. And yeah, thank you all for watching. Keep on Dokkaning. We'll catch you next time. Later.